Welcome back once again to Central High School, getting set for this District 3 tournament ball game. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge taking on the Central Bobcats. Second consecutive year these two teams have played for the district championship. Wildcats losing last year's game 2-0. Caden Black's going to lead things off. The pitcher for the Central Bobcats is Noah Pointer. About to get set. The Wildcats wearing their black, I think they're Secret City jerseys, and Pointer is about to start the ball game. Caleb is ready. And the first pitch of the game is outside corner for a called strike. We're working on our video stream as we speak. Here's the pitch to Caden. That's strike two. Takes two strikes. Not a whole lot of velocity, but fires it into the strike zone, and the count is 0-2. No balls, two strikes. The pitch is hit to the left field. Down the line, left fielder running hard, and it's out of my view. And honestly, I can't see it. Ball is foul. I don't know, but it was caught or not. That is the question. I see that Caden is returning to bat, and the count remains at no balls and two strikes. Caden steps back in. Left-handed hitting, senior. Pitch to the plate. Hit once again, foul. Off to the field right behind us. We are working on our video feed right now. We just don't have a whole lot of internet, which is not unusual when we've come to this place before. We're kind of situated in a kind of a between two hills. Black back in. Two strikes the count. He'll be followed by Cam Welch, then Mikey Teasley. Here's the pitch. Hit in the air to left field, or right field, pretty deep, all the way back to the fence, to the wall. He makes the catch right in front of the wall, and that is out number one here in the top of the first inning. Mikey Teasley will be the third hitter. Peyton Witter, Freire, Franklin, Welch, and E scheduled hitters in Coach Travis Free's lineup. This is a repeat of last year's district game. Finals won by Central 2-0. Cam Welch. Pitch to him is hit on the ground, first base side. First baseman fields it and steps on the bag, and that's an easy 3 unassisted, and that is out number 2. The Wildcats going quickly here in the top of the first. Here's the pitcher, Mikey Teasley. Steps in, sophomore. Wildcats and Central Bobcats. They played on Saturday. The Wildcats winning 10-0 up in Carson Newman. Noah Pointer facing Teasley. The pitch, that's down low, a ball. 1 ball, no strikes, the count. As I said, we're working on the video as we speak. Wind blowing a little bit, hard. Pitch to the plate. Hit in the air, foul territory, right in front of the plate. It's the pitcher and the catcher both. It's going to be the pitcher who makes the play, and the Wildcats go easily in the top of the first inning. 1, 2, 3. Coming up next, the Central Bobcats. They'll send Nick Reardon, Kalen Chesney, and Andrew Hill. That's the scheduled 3 in their lineup. We are live on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. We will be back to Tommy Shumpert Park in a moment. David Clary back here along with Caleb Reichner. Alex Myers is with us as well. The rain is falling here at Tommy Shumpert Park. Let's go ahead and put that bag on top of the camera. Don't cover the camera, though. Mikey Teasley is on the mound. He'll be facing Nick Reardon, then Kalen Chesney, then Andrew Hill. First, we're sitting out here in the rain. There is no cover at this part as the people start running for the exits here, trying to get out of the weather. Mikey Teasley, the sophomore, a pitch to the plate is a called strike with the fastball, and the count is 0-1. Hopefully this will just be a little spring shower that'll pass quickly as we have had forecasted for rain all day, and it is raining currently. Pitch is cut on a miss. Live fastball again by Mikey, and the count is 0-2. Reardon will be followed by Chesney, then Hill in the central lineup. Let's cover up the internet hotspot there too, Caleb. Pitch to the plate, cut on a miss. That's a strikeout. I'll tell you, Nick Reardon, he's one of the better young players around, and he goes down. That's out number one. It's going to be hard to do the stats here because all of our paperwork is wet. So I'm going to use that if you don't mind. And we're kind of, as Chesney hits the ball in the center field. Warren East over. He has got it for out number 2. Both pitchers with a good start here. First pitch swinging. Chesney goes down. Here comes Andrew Hill. Andrew Hill, the MVP of the district, will bat. He is a ETSU signee. This is Andrew Hill, and Andrew's had, and I've talked about this, he didn't have a particularly great game on Saturday up at Carson Newman, but he's had some good games in this field. He called a strike, and Andrew ducked under that one, and the count is 0-1. Teasley comes to the plate, 1-strike pitch. That's a better pitch. I think that's the makeup right there because the first pitch for sure was a little tight. Evens the count at 1-1 strike. Sophomore comes to the plate, fastball at the knees, and looked pretty good. Might have been just a little bit below the knees. The count is 1-2 strikes. Or 2-1 strike, my apologies. Should be 1-2 strikes. Pitch to the plate. There's a called strike. He's a little slow. He's just a little slow, Caleb, for announcing the strike. Yeah. Yes. 2-2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody aboard. Pitch to the plate. Cut on fouled at the plate. And the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rain's kind of let up just a bit, which is good news for us. I think we're going to have intermittent video all night. Anytime we've ever broadcast from here, we've had the internet issue. There's just not a great signal here. 2-2 pitch from the sophomore. Fastball, there's called strike 3, and he's going to go sit down. Andrew Hill will head to the dugout. That's 3 up and 3 down, and Mikey got his control down, and that is the second strikeout of the inning for Mikey Teasley. And we go to the top of the second inning. The Wildcats will send Peyton Witter, Parker Free, and Richie Ferreira to the plate in the second inning. This is the District 3 championship game. The format, obviously, if the Wildcats win, they are the district champions. If Central wins this ball game, then that forces a second ball game today and immediately after this game. So Wildcat fans, Wildcat players, broadcasters, and fans all hoping, if you're a Wildcat fan, that it ends in this first game. We're going to be back to Tommy Shumpert Park on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio, in a moment. Welcome back once again to Tommy Shumpert Park, the District 3 for a championship. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge taking on the Bobcats of Central. Peyton Witter, the batter. He's a junior, bats from the right side. Transfer from Kingston. Pitch, cut on, and missed. And the count is 0-1. Noah Pointer is the pitcher. We've seen this year Cole Wessels and Andrew Hill against the Wildcats. Pitch to Pointer is evidently a ball, and the count is even at 1 strike. All you want from an umpire is consistency. As that pitch is hit foul over towards Travis Free, the head coach of the Wildcats. He slings it back into Pointer, and Peyton's behind in the count. 1 strikes. A lot of umbrellas up as we sit in the rain. 1-2 pitch is hit foul this time. A little late on it. Fouls it to the right side, and the count is still 1-2. Alex Myers is here. Haven't seen Alex at many baseball games in the past, this year anyway. 1-2 pitch, and that hit him. And so the Wildcats have a base runner. And after getting ahead 1-2, Peyton is hit by a pitch, and that's the first base runner. And the batter now will be Parker Free. He's a freshman. He had a bases clearing double against Central on Saturday in the ballgame up at Carson Newman. Right-handed hitting freshman, as I mentioned. Peyton with average speed at first. The pitch, low and outside, and the count is 1-0. By far, this is the youngest Oak Ridge team I've ever seen actually take a field that's actually as competitive as they are. There's more freshmen starting than seniors today. Throw over to first, and back to the bag will go Peyton Witter. Coach Free has done just a fantastic job kind of rebuilding the program up to the way it was back in the 90s or so. And I guess the last time we had a championship was 2002 as that pitch is outside. And the count is 2-0. Parker will be followed by Richie Ferreira in the Wildcat lineup. Witter was hit by a pitch. Parker back in. Pointer's pitch to him is hit well, but foul. Off to the left side and well out of play. And the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Caleb, we just knew it was going to rain, didn't we? It was a beautiful day coming all the way over here.
It was a really nice day coming here, and then it decided to get a little windy the second we got set up, and I was like, David was saying, I don't think there's gonna be rain. I look behind me, and the wind is blowing about 8,000 clouds. It looks like straight towards us. So now we have this.
Such is life. One ball or two balls, one strike to Parker. Pitch to the plate is up high and outside. It's 3 balls and one strike. He was perfect in the first inning, just kind of cruised through the Wildcat lineup, getting Caden Black to fly out to right. Cam Welch grounded out to first, and then Mikey Teasley was out on a pop up to the pitcher, but struggling with his control here. Witter takes his lead, not going. The pitch is ball 4, and Parker Free will wander on down to first base as the rain gets a little steadier. I think we've got most of the electronics covered except the metal thing that I'm got in my hand is Izzy Mitchell is going to come in and run for Parker Free. Izzy will be the courtesy runner. And the batter now will be Richie Ferreira. Richie bats from the left side, one of 3 lefties in the Wildcat lineup today. Runners at first and second, no score. Pitch to the plate, he bunts it up the first base line. It's a beautiful bunt. He can't throw him out. It's going to be an infield single for Richie Ferreira. It didn't go any more than 15 feet from the home plate, but I think the catcher good hit the grass, slipped a little bit. I think he thought better of throwing down to first, and the Wildcats have the bases loaded, and that is the first hit of the ball game, and the batter will be Alex Franklin. Franklin playing second base today. He was the winning pitcher on Saturday. The Wildcats have the bases loaded. I remember a game played here last year when Alex drove in his brother Jacob, who has since graduated, on this field. Very solid, consistent hitter for the Wildcats. One of the few seniors in the lineup. Pitched just a beautiful game on Saturday. A 2-hit shutout through 5 innings. The Wildcats winning that game 10-0. I wasn't totally surprised that Alex got the start, but I think it just shows the coaching staff has a lot of faith in Alex. And even after his shoulder surgery, he performed very well for the Wildcats, and he steps in for the Wildcats with the bases loaded and nobody out here in the second inning. This is the district championship game as we sit in the rain. Caleb Riker and Alex Myers, myself, David Clary, Noah Pointer, visit from his coaching staff, and he's ready to go once again. The first pitch to Alex is hit on the ground, foul up the third base side, and the count is 0-1. Our friend from Farragut told me the score right now is 7-0 Farragut over Maryville in the District 4 championship ball game. Sure Alex Myers is happy about that. Bases loaded. Alex Franklin, the pitch to him. Hit on the ground to the pitcher. He's got to play at the plate. They might have a play at first. It's going to be a fielder's choice. Ball went right back to the mound, and the pitcher wisely came home and got the force, and Alex reaches on a fielder's choice. The bases remain loaded, and the batter will be Kyron Welch.
Next up, third baseman, Kyron Welch.
Kai steps in for the Wildcats. He's a senior. Today he's playing third base since Mikey is pitching. Base is still loaded. Golden opportunity for the Wildcats. Hit batsman, a walk, an infield hit, and now a fielder's choice. Base is loaded. And here's the pitch to Kyron. He takes a strike on the inside corner of the plate at the knees, and the count is 0-1. The good news, Caleb, is the sun is peering out from behind us. Yeah. Lights are on here at Tommy Shumpert Park. Timeout is asked for by Kai, granted by the umpire. Wildcats have Alex Franklin at first base. Wildcats have Richie Ferreira at second, and Izzy Mitchell is the base runner at third. Warren East is on deck. Warren hit a home run against Central at Carson Newman on Saturday. the freshman, with his third home run in the regular season. He hit a home run against Catholic. He's got a lot of power. He's on deck. Kai's trying to get the first runs home here as he steps back in. Right-handed hitter. Noah Pointer, the pitcher, the pitch to the plate. And he's hit by a pitch, and there is that first run. So that's the second batter that Pointer is hit, and that is an RBI the hard way for Kai Welch. I think the coach is arguing that that was a foul ball and didn't hit him. I think that's what I think he's arguing. He hasn't asked for help. They're working with, I believe, 3 umpires today, and they are gonna conclave, and we'll see how this goes for the Wildcats. Kai immediately took off towards first. The 3 umpires will get together. Will it be 1-0, or will Kyle have to come back to bat? Conversation taking a little longer than I think it should. Video evidence will not lie. They're going to say he is there, and the Wildcats have a 1-0 lead. In the score, the first run of the ball game is Izzy Mitchell, and Oak Ridge leads Central, and the bases remain loaded. And here comes Warren East. As I mentioned, Warren, freshman, 3 home runs on the year. He's hit either first or ninth during the course of the season. He's got Caden Black on deck. Bases loaded. Lots of power in this freshman. Kai takes his lead off of first. Runner at second. The pitch to him. He hit him. That's another one. That's the third batter that has been hit, and the Wildcats now lead it 2-0. In the score will come Richie Ferreira. So Richie scores. They give an RBI to Warren East. 3 guys here in the second inning after cruising through the first inning with little difficulty, having a little trouble with his control. And here comes Caden Black. This is the guy that has been so phenomenal for 4 years for the Wildcats. All-state selection. Bases loaded. 2 runs in. The pitch to Caden. That's down low, a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Alex Myers, who I know you don't want to talk much, but Caden Black belongs to a very prolific family in Oak Ridge.
That's what I was going to ask. He's got to be related to Ron and Adam, right?
Those are his uncles, as Caden calls time. Of course, you know what Todd Helton did one time, the former Central Bobcat.
I know what he did, and I know how many times he did it, David. 1 too many.
Caden Black back in. 1 ball, no strikes to him. Bases loaded. 2 runs in. The Wildcats on top in the district championship game. Ball hit on the ground. First base side. Caden's going to beat it out. 1 run will score, and it's now 3-0. The Wildcats in the lead. Ball was hit right on the button by Caden. Another run comes in to score. That is Alex Franklin coming in to score, and the bases remain loaded for Cam Welch.
Next up, first baseman Cam Welch.
Wildcats, Cam Welch steps in. Cam grounded out to the pitcher. Bases full of Wildcats. Biggest fan in the house here, Will Presley, every ball game this season. He's here. Pitch to Cam is outside, and the count is 1-0. Noah Pointer really struggling, Caleb. It's now 3-0.
Yeah, it looked like it was up high. I don't know much about baseball, so I might sound a little stupid, but it looked like it was definitely out. And was that high? It was probably a little high, but there's pitching now.
Here's a throw where they got the Wildcat runner picked off in between. He almost throws the ball away. Wildcats are advancing bases, and they do tag him out. And the Wildcats, that's a tough break as Kyron was just a little bit too far up the line. Good play by Good to record the out. And now there's 2 outs, I believe. Is there? I'm trying to remember. 2 outs in the inning. And Camden will step in. Wildcats with a base running mistake. Now, with 2 runners in scoring position still, though, Caden is the runner at second. Warren East is at third. Cam to the plate, the pitch to him. There's a called strike on the outside half of the plate. Cam had 4 RBIs in the ball game against Powell the other day, including a triple. He had a couple hits, actually 3 hits in that game. Went hitless in the game on Saturday. Left-handed hitting sophomore. The pitch to him almost hit him. It's inside. And the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Had a really fun ceremony before. All district, honorable mention, first team, and academics were given plaques before the game. We recorded that. We didn't have it on our stream. We're struggling with our stream today. Here's the pitch to Cam. Oh boy, looked pretty good from here. Look at the knees on the outside corner, and the count, I believe, is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Cam's got to be swinging here. Anything close. 3 balls and 1 strike. Thank you, Alex. You know my eyes, correct? Yes. 3 balls and 1 strike. You'll have bad eyes someday too. 3-1 pitch. That's ball 4. And Cam Welch, the strike zone, I guess because Mr. Pointer has not been around the strike zone much, that he's not getting the close ones. The batter is Mikey Teasley. Another big bat in the Wildcat lineup, another sophomore. So we got a freshman running at third, a senior at second, a sophomore at second, and a sophomore batting. Alex, have you ever seen an Oak Ridge team as young as this one?
Never, and especially in this spot. It's crazy.
Mikey steps in. He popped out to the pitcher back in the first inning. 3-0 Oak Ridge. This is the district championship. I'd like to thank Lynn Hart of Okies, the Oak Ridge Bowling Center, and Lynn Hart Construction Company for paying our rights fee to the TSSAA today. He did that in a previous ball game, so this is the second time in the postseason he has sponsored our broadcasts, and we appreciate that. And I've had Mr. David Murray also offered. He's a member of the 2002, I think it was 2002, district championship team. And he thinks he might get away with not sponsoring one, but I'll hit you up if we need it. Thank you, David. I appreciate it, David. Wow, I can't believe it's been 22 years. Been a while. Almost 40 years old. Yeah. He's watching the game here. Here's Mikey as he steps in. Pitch is cut on and missed. Count is 0-1. Mikey's last home run came against Coalfield. Coalfield, I think, won their district, or they're about to. Good single A program. Timeout is asked for. The rain has stopped. That's the good news. I guess Wildcats have a 3-0 lead. Wildcats lost last year's district championship game to the Central team 2-0. Pitch to Mikey. Cut on a miss. Mikey swings through a high fast one, and he's behind in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Mikey normally a pretty disciplined hitter. I think he's trying to get these runs in, make it a little easier for him, take a little pressure off him because he's the pitcher, starting pitcher for the Wildcats, but he's behind 0-2. Pitch to him, cut on a miss. Mikey goes down swinging for the 3rd out of the inning, but a very productive second inning for the Wildcats. Oak Ridge picks up 3 runs, 2 base hits. The Wildcats leave the bases loaded. We go to the bottom of the second inning of the District 3 championship game, brought to you by Okies Sports Grill, the Oak Ridge Bowling Center, and Lynn Hart Construction Company. Because of a donation by Lynn Hart, the Wildcats on top 3-0. We'll be back to Tommy Shumpert Park and the District 3 championship game in a moment.
somebody was off. He was covering the run, holding the runner. He never moved. Second to the H, Drew Shaver.
Welcome back once again to Tommy Shumpert Park. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge have taken an early 3-0 lead in this district championship ball game. And I love it when Alex Myers and other people, James Branson and others, are here to do my tweets for me. Thank you, Alex. I know James is at football practice. Mikey starts the second inning. The first pitch is fouled off, out of play. The batter will be Drew Shaver. He's the designated hitter. He's hitting for Noah Pointer today. It'll be Shaver, Wessel, and Good, the scheduled three. I think the same guys we saw in the same order on Saturday. Pitch is down low, a ball. We're getting people telling us that the video is in and out, but it is, we understand that. We just have never had a good signal here. Appreciate Coach Tom Froning, former head coach of the Wildcats, watching our ball game today. Math teacher. Pitch is hit on the ground, up, glanced off the mound, and that's going to be a base hit. Ball kind of glanced over towards Caden Black, and that is the first hit of the ball game for the Central Bobcats. And the batter now will be the first baseman, Cole Wessel. Cole was the losing pitcher on Saturday when the Wildcats won 10-0. As Oak Ridge reached the winner's bracket finals by beating Central in that game. Let's see, a little bit of a delay. Yeah, let's see if he's okay. He appears to be. Not exactly sure what happened. His coaches are out to have words with him. Not exactly sure what happened. Shaver, I don't know if he pulled something or did something, but he's going to stay in the ball game. Of course he will. This is a district championship ball game. Looks like Drayton Hawkins, principal of Oak Ridge High School, is here. Had a good, decent crowd. I see Coach Gaddis. He didn't exactly dress for the occasion, but he's here down in the left corner, right by the dugout. I'm picking on him.
There's Justin Davis.
And Justin Davis is going to run for Shaver. And the batter will be Cole Wessel. As I mentioned, he was the starting pitcher in the ball games. That ball is hit to center field. Warren East should make the catch, though. He's under it and makes the play for out number one. One pitch, one out. And I know Mikey likes that. And batter now will be Jack Good, the catcher. Good is the catcher. He bats from the left side. A little bit of contact here in this inning. In the first inning, Mikey was able to strike out two of the three that he faced. Pitch to the plate is low and inside, and the count is 1-0. Caleb Riker doing camera work today. His first away baseball game. Did a lot of home games last year, but his first experience outside the confines of, as Parker can't pick up the throw. Now he does. Here comes the throw, and he is safe. Going to be a wild pitch. And then down to second in scoring position will go Davis, the runner. And the batter is ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. That's Jack Good. Three to nothing Wildcats as the Bobcats bat in the second. Cam Welch is the first baseman. Alex Franklin is, as he squares to bunt and takes a ball, and the count is 3 balls and no strikes. I know the Alex's mother is watching, and I call him Noah Wood before. Anytime I look out at second, for whatever reason, I think Noah Wood's out there. That is Alex Franklin at second. Caden Black is at short. Kai Welch is at third. Here's the pitch, and that's ball four. So after having near perfect control in the first inning, he's given up an infield single. Here comes Jeremiah Ball, the pitching coach for the Wildcats, the former Dobbins Bennett Indian will have words with Mike Teasley. Mike, Wildcats trying to win this district championship. They lead it 3-0. A lot of baseball to be played. Batter will be Samuel Myers. He is the second baseman. Conversation still taking place between Coach Ball and Mikey. Umpire's going to slowly walk out to deal with him and send him back to the dugout. Wildcats scored 3. Could have done a lot better. They had a guy picked off and closed out the top of the inning with the bases loaded. The Bobcats very capable. Obviously, they are the defending district tournament champions. They are the regular season district champions. The Wildcats and Bobcats split during the regular season. Both games were one-run games. As number one steps in for the Bobcats. Teasley on the hill for the Wildcats. He's got runners at first and second. There is one out. Parker free with the sign. The pitch. Down low a ball. Here Parker's going to throw down to second. Cade makes a nice stop to keep it from going into center field. Mikey had perfect control in the first, but his control has eluded him here in the second to this point. 1 ball, no strikes. Parker free with the sign. Teasley checks the runner at second. The pitch. That's high. Ball 2. Mikey had a little control issue here when we played Central back in the regular season. Coming off of kind of still has a shoulder issue he's dealing with. Behind in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. The pitch. There's a called strike. And the count is 2-1. Caleb, here comes the rain once again. Might want to cover up the laptop for sure. Camden playing in front of the runner at first. Pitch, squares to bunt, hits it right back to Mikey. Mikey feels it, throws on to the second baseman, Alex Franklin, covering for out number 2. That time, the second baseman did cover as opposed to in Richie's bunt, and that'll be out number 2. Moving down to third will go Davis, the runner. Moving to second will be the runner for good. And the batter is Miles Johnson, the left fielder. 3-0 Wildcats, but they have a couple runners in scoring position. Wildcats beating Central 10-0 on Saturday. We don't expect that kind of a ball game today as Mikey comes in. The pitch, high and inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Unfortunately, last year, you might remember we had to move the regional tournament to Carson Newman. Played Hardin Valley and beat Hardin Valley here on this field. But then had to move to Carson Newman as that pitch is hit foul, left side, and out of play. Ball was hit right on the button, though, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Runners at second and third. Rain falling again all over our equipment. You've got it covered, that's true. Miles Johnson steps out. Right-handed hitter. Teasley checks the runner, has the runners, checks the sign, the pitch. There's a called strike on the inside corner, and the count is 2-2. The Central fans didn't like that. It was a good pitch, right at the knees. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mikey trying to work out of trouble. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mikey's pitch to the plate. Hit him. Either hit him in the helmet or hit him in the shoulder. Either way, the bases are loaded. And here comes the number 8 hitter in their lineup, David Grimes. Grimes steps in, bases full of Bobcats in a 3-0 game with the Wildcats in the lead. Right-handed hitter. Wildcats. Mikey trying to get out of trouble. Both teams, both pitchers in the second have struggled. So far to this point, Mikey hasn't given up any runs. Pitch to the plate is up high, a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. We had a couple guys hit by a pitch in the top of this inning that scored runs. One ball, no strikes. Pitch. Inside corner for a called strike, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Mikey popping the leather as usual, trying to find his control. Maybe the ball's wet because it is raining. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 pitch. Hit foul. Back to the screen. Behind on that one, and the count is 1-2. There's the sun once again. I guess we're just going to have intermittent rain showers. As long as it doesn't just come down pouring. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bases full of Bobcats. Teasley steps off the rubber and the runners scamper back to their respective bags. Bases full of Bobcats. 2 outs. Bottom of the second inning, 3-0 Oak Ridge. Mikey Teasley has the sign from Parker free. Here's the 2-strike pitch. Almost hit him. If it had, it would have meant a run. And the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Both pitchers in the first inning had very good first innings. The second inning has been a struggle for both. Mikey has 2 outs. 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Go sit down. That ends the second inning. A beautiful pitch on the inside corner by Mikey Teasley. And the Bobcats leave the bases loaded here at the District 3 Championship ballgame. Wildcats on top, 3-0. We'd like to thank Lynn Hart with the Oak Ridge Bowling Center, Okies, and Lynn Hart Construction Company for paying our rights fee to the TSSAA. As we say each and every ball game, every game we have to pay $250 to the TSSAA in order to stream as Teacher Appreciation Week. You see some teachers standing up, and even our principal, Drayton Hawkins, tried to get his teachers to stand up. Wildcats on top, 3-0. We go to the third inning. We'll be back in a moment.
CHS baseball players and program. Mr. Smith even traveled to Florida on his spring break to support the team. Thank you, Mr. Smith, for your dedication to Central High School and the Central High School baseball program.
Welcome back to Tommy Shumpert Park, home of the Central Bobcats. I'm so old, Caleb. I remember when they used to play over at a park just behind, I think it was called Dogwood or something like that. It was a park where I saw Todd Helton play most of his games, the future Hall of Famer. As Peyton Witter leads things off for the Wildcats. Peyton was hit by a pitch to open up the second inning, and he hits the ball on the ground past the third baseman, fielded by Adam Hill. He throws on the first, Andrew Hill, and that is the first out of the inning. So Witter is retired.
Next up for Wildcats, the catcher to Parker Free.
6-3. Batter now will be Parker Free. Parker also reached base safely on this time a walk. He's one of the few that didn't suffer pain getting on base, as that pitch is a called strike. It was high, came across the numbers. It was definitely high, but he called it a strike, and the count is 0-1. Parker steps back in. That is for sure high, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Will hasn't missed a ball game. He is at every single home and away ball game. Pitch to Parker, hit in the air softly. Second baseman, the shortstop back. It's going to be Hill who makes the catch for out number 2. Batter now will be Richie Ferreira. Richie had laid down a bunt, picked up a base hit with the bunt. The second baseman did not cover the bag at first, and the catcher had no place to go with it. And he reached base safely and came around to score, but he bats here in the third with 2 outs and nobody aboard. Noah Pointer still pitching for the Central Bobcats. The pitch to Richie is down low, a ball. Remember last year at the district tournament, Central beat Oak Ridge twice. Once in the, I guess it was the top of the bracket, and then in the championship ball game. Central went on to beat Oak Ridge 2-0 last year. Back in the 90s, these two teams battled it out regularly in baseball and football and every sport, honestly. That pitch to Richie is a ball. The count is 2-1. Hopefully our internet's a little bit better. The pitch is a called strike. And the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's been a kind of an interesting start to this game. Both pitchers were perfect in the first inning. Both pitchers struggled in the second inning as there's a line drive base hit for Richie Ferreira just over the top of Hill, who went up high to get it. And Richie is going to come all the way into second. What a hustle. Great hustle play by Richie Ferreira. He never slowed down. Richie just came around, and the Bobcats very casually got the ball in, and Richie has a double. And the batter now will be Alex Franklin. Alex reached on a fielder's choice and scored a run. Richie will take his lead off of second base. He's in scoring position, but there are 2 outs for Alex Franklin. Infield at normal depths. So I mentioned Alex reached on a fielder's choice. The pitch to him. He's hit in the air softly. Is it going to drop? It is going to. And the Wildcats, here comes the throw at the plate. He is in safely. It's an RBI double. It could be a triple. Here's Alex Franklin. He's at third. And the Wildcats lead it by a score of 4-0. A soft line drive hit to left field. Fell right in front of the left fielder. And the Wildcats lead Central now 4-0 here in the third. And all this coming after 2 outs. Give an RBI to Alex Franklin. I told you, he's the most really kind of one of the more consistent hitters when he has gotten a chance to play, as the Wildcat gives Oak Ridge a 4-0 lead. And here comes Kai Welch. Kai was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded. His first time picked up an RBI. Pitch to Kai, hits him again. So Noah struggling a little bit all of a sudden. Wildcats have runners at first and third in the District 3 championship ball game. And here comes Warren East. Warren was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded and picked up an RBI. Here's another meeting on the mound. Gives me the opportunity to thank Lynn Hart, who paid our rights fee to the TSSAA. Of course, one of the owners of Okies Sports Grill. And he also owns the Oak Ridge Bowling Center. He was a baseball player for the Wildcats back in the 90s. Played football in the 90s as well. Also Lynn Hart Construction Company. This is the second time in the postseason that Lynn has paid our rights fee, and we appreciate him greatly. TSSAA, as I say every ball game, they feel that this streaming keeps people away from the ball games, but I say it every time. The people going to a high school baseball game are going to come to a high school baseball game. The ones who are watching are grandparents in Indiana and Illinois and everywhere else. Those are the people watching, and the casual fan that's not coming to the ball game anyway. But the TSSAA charges $250 per ball game, and we thank Lynn for paying our fee. 4-0 the score. The Wildcats trying to tack some more on. They've got runners on the corners, and Warren East the batter. Squares to bunt, does the freshman, takes a strike. The runner is going, and they're going to get that rundown play. And here's the throw at the plate. He is safe. the Wildcats, a double steal. Alex Franklin comes in to score the 5th run of the ballgame. I'm surprised Good went ahead with the throw. He threw it all the way down, pulled back on the base at second, and he came home, and the Wildcats now lead it by a score of 5-0. Stolen base for Welch, and a run for Alex Franklin, and a stolen base. And the Wildcats lead it now 5-0. And the pitch to Warren stays up high. Oak Ridge beat Central 10-0 on Saturday. They're up 5-0, but it's still so early in the ball game. District 3 title ball game. Runner still in scoring position. Warren back in. The pitch to him. That's down low, a ball. And the count on the scoreboard says 2 balls and no strikes. 5-0 Wildcats. Freshman East back in. Pointer working quickly, has the sign from Good. And the pitch. Ball 3. Rain slacked off for about 5 minutes, but I feel the sprinkles starting once again. It really hasn't rained super hard, thank goodness. So, and now we have had some issues with our internet, obviously. 3 balls, 1 strike. Caden Black is on deck. Pitch to the freshman, hit foul, back to the screen, and the count is full 3-2. As I mentioned, Warren hit a home run against Central at Carson Newman on Saturday. Today, he's reached base safely by being hit by a pitch with the bases loaded and picking up an RBI. Pointer looks at the runner at second. The pitch to Warren. That's up high. Ball 4. So Warren East is on base again. And here comes Caden Black. Caden had a single and an RBI. It was off the glove of the first base, and the ball was hit like a shot. And he is officially 1 for 2, at least in the Oak Ridge book. And Caden will bat with runners at first and second. Love to get a big hit out of the All-State senior. Pitch to him. There's a called strike. Pretty pitch. You know, it's kind of interesting. I joke about this all the time. Caden has probably been hit more than any player I've ever seen at the high school level, but he's the only one so far not to be hit, it seems like, in this ball game. As he steps in, he crowds the plate a bit. The pitch to him, hit on the ground, foul, just past Coach Maddox. Maddox says he's okay, and the count is 0-2. 5-0 Oak Ridge, District 3 title ball game, live on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. My name is David Clary, along with Caleb Riker and Alex Myers. Alex not doing a whole lot of talking, but he's here. Mike Sheehan was going to join us today. I haven't seen him. 2-strike pitch. Here it comes. Hit into center field hard and caught by Reardon, I believe, and that is out number 3. But the Wildcats pick up 2 more runs. They leave 2 stranded. We go to the bottom half of the 3rd inning, live here from Tommy Shumpert Park. The Wildcats lead it 5-0, and we'll be back in a moment.
Leading up the third for the Bobcats, center fielder Nick Reardon.
We go to the bottom half of the third inning. 5-0 Wildcats. Nick Reardon, the batter. Right-handed hitter. Nick was a strikeout victim back in the first inning. Good solid hitter. I saw him make a play in the outfield first time we played him here. That ball was ripped to the right center field gap. Cut off nicely there by Oak Ridge. The ball comes in quickly, holding him to a single. The ball was hit right on the nose, and that is a base hit. And Caleb Chesney, an excellent bunter, bats, and he is a over 1 in the ball game as it continues to rain here. He flew out to center field. That ball was hit right on the button. He's a good bunter. I wouldn't be surprised. Let's see where the Wildcat third baseman, yes, he's playing in a little bit. He's laid him down against Oak Ridge before. Number 2 hitter in their lineup, Kalen Chesney. Runner at first, Reardon. Not going. The first pitch is a ball outside, and the count is 1-0. Chesney, a right-handed hitter, as I mentioned, he's 0 for 1 in the ball game, facing Mikey Teasley. Mikey still, as a pitch is outside, a ball, 1 ball, no strikes. I think they're so thinking that he might bunt that he hasn't hit the strike zone. Mikey had a little control issues the first. Had a collision the other day, I guess. I can't remember if it was the East Hamilton game or I'm trying to remember which game that Mikey had a collision. That pitch is another ball. You don't want to give up free bases as Mikey's out of the strike zone. It's 3 balls and no strikes. Everything's going to have to be dried out when we get out of here, including us. 3 balls and no strikes. Chesney, the batter. They've got Reardon at first. 5-0 Wildcats. We're still in the third inning. Teasley comes to the plate. That's ball 4. Bounces away a little bit, but not far enough. And they've got a couple base runners on with nobody out. And the batter, Andrew Hill. Andrew was a strikeout victim looking back in the first. I have seen him hit many home runs in his career, several here against Oak Ridge. As he bats, he's the East Tennessee State commitment, big, tall, rangy senior. And he steps in with an opportunity to get his team right back in the ballgame. Got home run power for sure. Struck out looking in the first inning. The first pitch to him must be a little outside. The count is 1-0. Reardon is the lead runner. Chesney is at second. At first, I mean. Reardon is at second. Pitch to Hill is a called strike. That evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. You know you're semi-important, Caleb, when Alex Myers is holding the umbrella over you. Yeah. 1 ball, 1 strike. I'll tell you a funny story about me holding an umbrella for a real celebrity one time. Not that you aren't a celebrity, Caleb, but you probably don't remember this guy. He was an actor who was on a show back in the 80s named Kirk Cameron. I held an umbrella for him that as he walked out of a limousine into a building one time. Kirk Cameron, look him up. Pitch to the plate, down low, a ball. The count is 2-1. Mikey had really just pinpoint accuracy in his control in the first inning. He has struggled in the second and here in the third. Hill with, as I mentioned, big power. Good hitter for the Bobcats. He's got runners at first and second. The pitch bounces away, and they're going to have runners at second and third. And 2 runners now in scoring position, and the count is 3 balls and 1 strike. Still nobody out in the third. Wildcats on top 5-0. Mikey trying to work out of trouble. It's been control issues in the second inning and in this inning. I know he doesn't want this guy to get a hold of anything, but he's got good stuff to get him out. He struck him out earlier. That pitch is hit. Foul off to the right side, a little bit behind it. And the count is full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Hill back in. 3-2 pitch. Struck him out for the second time. That is the first out. Took something off of that one, and that is out number 1 here in the third inning. And the batter now will be the designated hitter, Drew Shaver. Drew picked up the first hit of the ball game for the Bobcats back in the second and was stranded. Right-handed hitter. It's a big deal when you strike that guy out.
It is, and now all of a sudden you look out and Dave, you watched this Central team more than I have. I don't know anything about the DH or the guy coming up next. Is this a situation where you consider trying to get somebody to first to make the double play in play?
I think with the stuff that Mikey has, you want to see if you can get him. And Mikey has, he throws in the low 90s. Pretty good for a sophomore. Pretty good for a major leaguer too. He's ahead in the count. No balls and 1 strike. 1 strike pitch, hit on the ground. He's going to get a run in. Alex makes the stop, throws on the first. They say that it drew him off the bag at first, and they have a run. Alex made a great play to stop the ball, dove for it, got up, and evidently the throw was just a little wide. And in to score is Reardon, and it's now 5-1. Moving over to third will go Chesney, and the batter will be Cole Wessel. Cole flew out. 5-1 the score. They'll have runners on the corners. And the number 5 hitter, as I mentioned, he flew out. Cole Wessel did. He was the losing pitcher, as I pointed out to you back in the start of the ball game. He was the losing pitcher on Saturday. Caleb. Runners on the corners, Mikey Teasley. Chesney is the runner at third, a short lead. Pitch to the plate. Takes a strike on the inside. Couldn't decide whether he wanted to pull the trigger on it, and took a strike, and the count is 0-1. Parker Free yells out the new play, signaled in from his coaching staff. Runner at first takes a decent sized lead. Mikey comes to the plate. The 1 strike pitch, strike 2, swinging. Runner stayed put at first. The ball was good stop by Parker to stop that 2 strike swing. 5-1 our score as we play in the third inning, the District 3 championship ball game from Tommy Shumpert Park, the home of the Central Bobcats. Mikey has 1 strikeout in this inning. He's got the runner picked off if they want to. Let's see, they're going to tag him out, but the other run scores. So both teams traded out for a run. Well, Oak Ridge traded it out for a run. In the score will come Chesney. And Shaver is retired for the second out. There's nobody aboard now, but it's now 5-2. Both teams did that little first and third play with Chesney scoring the run now for the Bobcats. 2 outs, nobody on. Mikey with 2 strikes. Pitch. Inside corner, called strike 3. Another strikeout for Mikey. That is strikeout number 5 for Mikey Teasley. But the Central Bobcats score 2. It is 5-2. The Wildcats in the lead. We are live, Tommy Shumpert Park, on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio, the District 3 championship ball game. Coach Froning, we got David Murray, member of the 2002 district tournament team, is here watching the game. Just recently moved back to Oak Ridge. I think you might be interested in that. 22 years ago, the Wildcats won the district title, and David was a part of that team. My name is David Clary, along with Caleb Riker, Alex Myers here. The rain has stopped again, but it'll start soon. I'd like to thank Lynn Hart once again. And while you have an opportunity, Alex, tell us about what's going on in June with the Boys Club.
Thank you very much, David. I appreciate you letting us kind of promote this a little bit. It's a really fun event. It's the annual Lawrence Hahn Golf Classic. So that's coming up June 8th. That's Saturday at the beautiful Oak Ridge Country Club. This event raises money to benefit the Boys and Girls Club of Oak Ridge. Team spots are filling up quickly, though there still remain some, so there is time to register. If you or your business would like to help sponsor this event, there's different levels of sponsors, I think as low as $100. And obviously it goes up. There's bigger, smaller sponsors, but literally anything you can provide is certainly appreciated. And again, if you'd like to register your team to play, there's still some time to do so. If you're interested in playing or helping sponsor the annual Lawrence Hahn Golf Classic, again, coming up on June 8th, please call 865-482-4433 or email Aaron Webb at ewebb@bgccy.org. Or you can always stop by the Oak Ridge Boys and Girls Club over near South Jefferson Circle. Again, that's 865-482-4433. Thank you so much, David. And now it's your turn to tweet. Oh, here comes the phone in my direction.
Thanks a lot, Alex. Appreciate that. I thought if I stalled you long enough, I could.
Is it even tweeting? Is it Xing? I don't know what the proper verb is at this point.
I still say tweeting, as Samuel Myers is the new pitcher for the Central Bobcats. Andrew Hill's moved over to third. That's where we saw him on Saturday. Peters is now playing center field, left field, I guess, as Myers takes over. Second pitcher used in the Central lineup. 5-2 our score, and the batter will be Cam Welch. Cam was retired first base unassisted and walked. Officially 0 for 1 in the ball game. Leadoff man here in the fourth. The pitch to him is a called strike. It'll be Cam Welch, Mikey Teasley, and Peyton Witter, the scheduled three in Coach Travis Free's lineup here at the District 3 championship ball game at Tommy Shumpert Park. A pitch, slow pitch, floats in there for called strike 2. Pitch to the plate, hit on the ground once again. First base side, first baseman fields it, flips it on to his pitcher covering, and that is out number 1. Second time that he's hit the ball on the right side, and second time he has been retired there. Batter now will be Mikey Teasley. Mikey, let's see, flew out his first time, struck out his second. He is 0 for 2 in the ball game. They call this Bud Bales Field here at Tommy Shumpert Park. Bud Bales was the longtime head coach at Central, coached the likes of Todd Helton and Bubba Trammell and Chris Freeman, all those guys that played on those great 90s teams for the Bobcats. 1 strike, the count to Mikey. The pitch to him. That's going to be another strike. Wildcats not quite as aggressive as Mikey has already struck out once in the ball game. Doesn't do that very often, but he's behind in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Pitch. That's a little bit high at the belt, just above the belt, and the count is 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. We're in the fourth inning. 5-2 Oak Ridge. The pitch, hit on the ground, up the middle, fielded by the shortstop, has a play, and he is safe. Nice play by Mikey Teasley to beat out an infield single. Showed off those sophomore wheels, and the Wildcats have a base runner. The first time tonight that Mikey Teasley has been on base, and the batter now will be the designated hitter, Peyton Witter. Peyton was hit by a pitch, was retired on a fielder's choice, and also grounded out 0 for 1 in the ball game. Got a little break in the rain finally. Mikey takes a good lead off of first. Pitch to Peyton. Takes a strike at the knees, and the count is 0-1. Witter, a right-handed hitter, throws from the left side, which is a little unusual. Mikey draws the throw at first, and back to the bag he goes. Yeah, Peyton bats from the right side, but he is a left-handed player. When he pitches and plays first, he throws from the left side. A little unusual, but it works for him. Mikey almost broke towards second, tried to maybe draw a balk from Myers, the pitcher, but he stepped off the rubber, and Mikey returns to the bag safely. Peyton back in, behind, no balls and 1 strike. Teasley does draw a throw, and once again, he is back to the bag easily. Witter will be followed by Parker Free. Peyton rests his bat on his right shoulder. Mikey draws the throw a little closer this time. As Coach Maddox says something to Mikey. I don't know if he was going on that particular play. Time it is asked for as Mikey dusts off the dirt. And Peyton back in. Pitch to the plate. Cut on and half swing, and it's a called strike anyway. And the count is 1-2 strikes. Myers, right-handed thrower, throws over to first, and Mikey once again back to the bag. Good crowd on hand here of community people, parents, grandparents, and some students in attendance. Peyton back in. 1-2 pitch to him. Runner going. Hit foul. Out of play over to the soccer field. And it drops harmlessly. Some youngsters out playing in the field over there, but nobody hurt. And the count remains at 1-2 strikes. Teasley takes his lead again off of first. Myers holding him close. 1-2 pitch to Peyton. Hit on the ground, up the middle. They fielded it at the plate, behind the bag at second. He steps on the bag and throws out Peyton Witter for the double play. Ball was hit right to the shortstop, and a double play is recorded. So the Wildcats pick up a base runner, but nobody is stranded as a result of the double play. We go to the bottom half of the fourth inning here at Bud Bales Field, Tommy Shumpert Park. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge on top of the Central Bobcats at the District 3 championship game by a score of 5-2. My name is David Cleary, along with Caleb Riker and Alex Myers. Once again, we'll thank Lynn Hart for paying our rights fee. Okie Sports Grill. Stop by there, eat, and thank him for sponsoring our broadcast, or go bowling at the Oak Ridge Bowling Center if you need your house rebuilt or made from scratch. Lynn Hart Construction Company. We appreciate them for sponsoring our ball game today. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning, and what has started to be a slow-moving contest. The Wildcats lead it by a score of 5-2, and we'll be back in a moment. David Clary back here along with Caleb Riker. 5-2, the Wildcats on top of Central. The District 3 championship game. It'll be Jack Good, the batter, leading things off. Let's see, Jack reached on a walk back in the second inning, and he'll step in. For the Wildcats, pitching still is Mikey Teasley. The outfield remains the same. Looks like Carson Fagan is in left field. The center fielder is Warren East. The right fielder, the Wildcats, is Richie Ferreira. Camden Welch is at first. Alex Franklin, that pitch to good is a called strike, is at second. Caden Black at short. And Kyron Welch as the Wildcats lead it. We apologize for the intermittentness of our broadcast. We just don't have much of a signal down in the hole here. That pitch bounced up there, and the count is even at 1-1 strike. Who'd you say is watching?
Ted Mitchell's watching. Bunch of former Wildcats watching today.
Looking at the stream, as that pitch is a called strike on the outside corner at the knees, and the count is 1-2 strikes to Jack Good. He'll be followed by Samuel Myers, the pitcher, and then Miles Johnson. Righty versus lefty, 2-strike pitch, hit hard to the third baseman, Kai Welch, with a nice play and a good throw to his brother. Great play by Kai Welch. Fielded it and took his time, which sometimes high schoolers don't always do, and he made a nice play, and that is out number 1 here in this fourth inning. Batter now will be the pitcher, Sam Myers. Myers grounded to Mikey Teasley. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Caleb, anybody of importance watching our stream on the chat anyway?
Oh, I see one of the principals, Miss Thompson, in the chat, and I also see Mike Kelly, Big Coach Kelly, in the chat. I'm pretty happy to see that. I love Coach Kelly.
Coach Kelly's always a big fan of all sports, obviously. Of course, they had football today, so he couldn't make it. And neither did Coach Branson, who's usually with us at the baseball games. Garrett Giles, of course, he's got basketball as usual. Here's the 1-1 pitch. There's a called strike. And the count is 1-2. Yeah, we don't know what Mike Sheehan's excuse is. He said he was coming. But I guess the rain kind of kept him away. Here's a 2-strike pitch. Inside corner, but is a called strike. And the count, I guess, is 1-2. Mikey Teasley to the plate. Cut on and missed. That's another strikeout. And that is strikeout number 6 for Mikey. My friend Jacob Franklin watching this one down in Chattanooga. Congratulations on him on his promotion in his company. And, of course, Ron and Gwen Black always watching. My good friends from a long time ago, before you guys were born, both of you. That pitch is down low, a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Miles Johnson is the batter. He was hit by a pitch. I think it's Miles Johnson. He was hit by a pitch first time. Kind of a small strike zone. He's not a very big guy, if that's indeed him. And the pitch is a called strike. And the count is even at 1-1 strike. Told you Coach Tom Froning watching. Coach Mark Garrison watching. Former head coaches at Oak Ridge. 1-1 strike, 2 outs. Nobody aboard for the Bobcats in the fourth. Batter gets tired of waiting, steps out of the box. Bobcats wearing their pinstripes, their red numerals, the black stripes on the white uniform, the Wildcats. That pitch is down low. Evens the count, 2 strikes. The Wildcats wearing their Secret City jerseys. And Alex, I'm going to ask you about that. What do you think about those jerseys?
I like them. I think the favorite one I've seen thus far is the gray ones that they wore maybe at Carson Newman. I think it was maybe last week. Excuse me. It says the Ridge on it. Yeah, those are really clean, stylish looking, but still keeps the Oak Ridge colors. I love it. You know, it's one of the things that we talk about kind of jokingly, but kind of half serious in football seasons. The different uniforms, the different traditions. I've always loved I guess it's just cursive, the fancy C that Central's baseball team has. It's interesting. Sometimes baseball teams in college and in high school, they use different letterings, and I like both uniforms.
They have several that they can wear, including the Oak Ridge Bombers uniform that they wear periodically. 2 strikes, 2 outs. Mikey Teasley trying to get through the fourth inning. That pitch high and tight, brushes him back a little bit. His hair kind of flowing out of the back of his jersey. If it had been in the front, it would have clipped it off as it came whizzing past him. Full count. Trying to get Mikey out of his rhythm. He's retired the first two, including a strikeout. There's strikeout number 7. Oh, I thought it was going to be if he was a strike. I guess the scoreboard was wrong. My apology. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Good pitch there by Teasley, the sophomore. Wants to end the 4th right here. Pitch is hit foul. Out of play over the top of the central dugout. When we first started playing at this field, I guess when Coach Froning was the coach, the first base side was the home dugout, and they've since moved it. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. Inside corner, called strike 3. Central fans not too happy about that, but that is the 7th strikeout for the sophomore, Mikey Teasley. We go to the top of the 5th inning here at the District 3 championship ball game. Bud Bales Field. Usually I see Coach Bales in attendance. Looking around here, I don't see him today. That doesn't mean he's not here. Coach Bales usually is in attendance, especially in a big ball game such as this. We are live on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. We'll be back for the 5th inning. The Wildcats on top 5-2 in the title ball game. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back once again to Bud Bales Field here at Tommy Shumpert Park. Parker Free will lead things off for the Wildcats. Parker walked his first plate appearance and also popped out to short and takes one up high. 1 ball and no strikes. One ball, no strikes. The pitch. Parker takes a strike on the inside half of the plate. And the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Starting to get a little darker. Once again, bad news. We're in the 5th inning in a 5-2 ball game. Freshman catcher back in. The pitch to him, cut on a miss. Didn't like his swing and falls behind. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Who else is watching, Caleb?
We got Izzy's mom in the chat too. I'll go ahead and check who else is in there.
Let's get Parker back in. 1 ball, 2 strikes to him. Pitch to Free. Oh, cut on a miss. Parker typically very disciplined hitter, especially for a freshman. I think he thought that pitch was going to be in the strike zone as Richie steps in. Richie's had a really good day so far. Had a bunt single, scored a run, had a hustle double as well. Junior trying to get on base once again. We're in the 5th inning in a 5-2 ball game. The pitch cut on and missed. Myers to the plate. Pitch is a called strike, and the count is 0-2. I think Richie thought it was high. Got a little sarcastic applause from the Central fans to our right. No balls and 2 strikes. Richie will be followed by Alex Franklin. He had a hit earlier. Pitch to Richie. That is definitely high. And the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yeah, Alex had an RBI earlier. Yeah, actually has a couple of RBIs. One on a fielder's choice. He stole a base, home basically. The ball's hit into right field. That's the third hit of the ball game for Richie Ferreira. And Richie once again takes a wide turn, and Richie is 3 for 3 in the ball game. Boy, he has hit the ball hard all night, except for that perfect bunt.
Yeah, that was about as pretty of a bunt at any level as you're going to see, just right where it needed to be, not too hard, not too soft. Struck the ball well there. If he doesn't hit that so hard, it's pretty easy play, but he just, boy, it was hit on a rope down the line.
The batter now will be the senior Alex Franklin. Franklin pitched a 2-hit shutout on Saturday against these Bobcats. Playing second base today. Squares to bunt. Not his best bunt. The pitcher has the force at second. Usually, I'm telling you, Alex Franklin's a great bunter. Normally he gets it down the line. That one went right back to the pitcher, and they get the force out at second of Richie Ferreira. And Alex reaches on the fielder's choice. The batter now will be Kyron Welch. Will he be victim number 3 in this ballgame? He has been hit twice already in the ballgame. Has an RBI one time because the bases were loaded. Also has a stolen base to his credit on that double steal. Pitch to him is a called strike.
I don't know if you caught it, Dave, but Richie at first that time, he got a good jump like he was going to steal, and then right as the bunt was being placed, he stopped. And I think if he just goes straight steal, I don't know if there was a miscommunication or what happened there, but I think the bunt would have been good enough to get him there had he not stopped.
I didn't notice that, honestly. I did not. As Kai steps out, calls time. It's getting dark once again, Caleb. You know what that means.
More rain. Very excited.
Good lead at first for Alex. The ball is a little bit low to Kyron, and the count is 1 ball. On the scoreboard, it looks like 1 ball and 2 strikes. Not so sure about that. I think is that what it says on the scoreboard? Okay, 1 ball. I do see it now. I got a fence in front of me and old eyes. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, runner going. Inside, here's the throw down and a stolen base for Alex Franklin. That'll be his second stolen base of the ball game. And he's in scoring position, and Kyron's got a 2 ball, 2 strike count. His mother watching very intently on the front rail. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Base hit. Could mean a run for the Wildcats. 5-2 Wildcats, 5th inning. Kai requests time, and it's granted, and he steps out of the box. You know, Alex, no, I know Caleb probably doesn't know this. Just because he calls time doesn't mean the umpire has to grant it. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Most of the time they do, but he did that time. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Franklin takes his lead off of second. Ball is hit in the air on the infield. Third baseman Hill calls for it, makes the one-handed grab for out number 3. The Wildcats pick up a base hit. They leave 1 stranded. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning here at Bud Bales Field, Tommy Shumpert Park. 5-2 Oak Ridge. Back to the District 3 championship game on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio, in a moment. What was the final score? 12 to nothing. We go to the bottom of the fifth inning here at Central. The Bobcats will send to the plate the number 9 hitter in their order. That's David Grimes. He was a strikeout victim back in the second inning. Mikey Teasley has 7 strikeouts to his credit to this point. He's still out there. Despite his little shoulder issue he had on a collision at the plate, he's pitched well today, and the first pitch is a little bit high, and the count is 1-0. Top of the order, Nick Reardon and Kalen Chesney are on deck for the Bobcats as they bat in the fifth, trailing by 3, 5-2. Mikey comes to the plate. Another high one out of the strike zone. 2 balls and no strikes. Mikey's still throwing hard, but he's had different innings where his control hasn't been quite good. Let's get these. 2 balls, no strikes. Pitch. That's ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. Looks like the Red Devils are out of the field here. 3 balls, no strikes. Number 9 hitter. It's a guy that you want to get. Mikey to the plate. There's a called strike, and the count is 3-1. There is nobody cheering for us. I can tell you that. Even though they're rivals.
Yeah. And that's good. I know that's their biggest rival probably, but also I know that travel ball these days. These guys are all probably they all know each other.
Ball is hit foul out of play, so Mikey has come back from a 3-0 count to make it a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. That is a good question because they are rivals. They're just right up the hill, or down the hill, I guess, if you're coming from Halls. But Mikey, 3-2 pitch to Grimes. That's high, ball 4. And that is a leadoff walk to the number 9 hitter. And back to the top of the order to a good hitter. Not saying that Grimes wasn't, but a good hitter as Coach Travis Free is making his way out to the diamond. Usually when he makes that walk, means might be the end of the day's work for Mikey Teasley. He is going to take the ball away from his sophomore, and he should get a good round of applause, and does. As Mikey exits with 7 strikeouts, he's given up 2 runs in this game. I tell you, he's still kind of sore. His shoulder has been sore since that collision at the plate, but he'll be replaced on the mound, and it looks like it's going to be Peyton Witter taking over. I'm going to turn off my mic here. The Wildcats on top 5-2 when we come back. One of the best hitters around, Nick Reardon, will be facing Peyton Witter, the lefty. And we'll be back to Tommy Shumpert Park, Bud Bales Field in a moment.
you look at the Wildcats, Peyton Witter takes over on the mound. Cy Stevens moves to left field.
Peyton Witter takes over for the Wildcats. It's been a while since Peyton pitched. I'm trying to remember the last game that Peyton pitched. It's been a while. Yeah, he hasn't pitched in this tournament. He's a lefty, primarily been the first baseman or a designated hitter, depending. So it looks like Cy Stevens has taken over in left field for Carson Fagan. I think everybody else remains the same. Mikey moved from the mound to third base. Kyron moved to second base for Alex Franklin. Lefty versus lefty. Runner at first, the pitch. Hit well to right. Richie Ferreira right in his tracks makes the play. Ball was hit right on the button, but right at Richie Ferreira, thank goodness, and that is out number 1. Good hitter out of the way there. And the batter now will be Kalen Chesney. He flew out to center back in the first inning. He walked and scored their second run in the third. Grimes is the base runner at first. I tell you, this guy can bunt. I keep waiting for him to put one down. Last year, it just seemed like every time he batted, they brought him in as a pinch hitter one time with 2 strikes, and he laid down a perfect bunt. I believe that was the same guy. Pitch is a ball. Final score from Farragut was 12-0. Farragut over Maryville. No hitter pitched by the Admirals. Combined no hitter. Pitch is low and outside. And the count is 2 balls and no strikes. There's 1 out. We're in the 5th inning. Kind of a slower moving ball game than we've had in these other ball games. Of course, 2 of the games in the tournament have been run roll ball games. 2 balls, no strikes. Short lead at first. The pitch. He does square to bunt and takes a ball. 3 balls and no strikes. One thing you don't want to do, especially this part of their order, you don't want to give them free passes. Peyton behind in the count, 3 balls and no strikes. Lefty versus lefty. Parker free with the sign. He does square to bunt. There's a strike at the belt. The old automatic, as they say, and the count is 3-1. So Peyton checks the runner at first. 3-1 pitch. He gets a strike called on him. It was a low strike. Chesney asked for timeout, but there was an example of the umpire not granting the timeout, and the count is full now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. First, the region will start Friday and Saturday. Both these teams will be there at Farragut. Farragut and Maryville, the other 2 teams involved. The Wildcats played Maryville twice this year. Actually lost both times. Did not play Farragut. Farragut plays so many travel tournaments all over. They don't get a chance to play a lot of teams around here with the exception of their own district teams. That's when you're nationally ranked, you can do that, as they are perennial state champions in Tennessee. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Runner at first. Peyton Witter comes to the plate. That's ball 4. So the tying run comes to the plate, and a guy that can do it, and that is Andrew Hill. Andrew has not had his typical Andrew Hill day, and that's what scares you. He is 0 for 2 in the ball game with 2 strikeouts, but I've seen him hit many home runs before, and he'll step in. Tying run at the plate facing Witter. Lefty versus righty. And they're going to load the bases. And let me tell you, I know that's might be considered unorthodox, because I saw years ago with the bases loaded, when Todd Helton would bat, they would load. If the bases were loaded, they'd even walk him, even if they walked a run in, because it would either mean 4 runs or 2 or 3 or just 1. As the batter steps in now, that'll be Drew Shaver trying to make the Wildcat coaches and pay for walking. Peyton's got 1 out, bases loaded in a 5-2 ball game. Witter comes to the plate, hit in the air, foul territory. Cam Welch has some room. He makes the catch. Great play, big out, just enough room to make the play. Cam did a really smart thing. He ran right to the fence and looked up, found the ball, and caught it.
Yeah, and he kind of used his offhand that the glove's not in to kind of feel. And I like what you said, Dave. It's really smart because he saw as far away as he could go, and he came back then instead of trying to wonder and try to feel the fence as the ball was coming down. Really headsy play by the first baseman.
That is out number 2. And the batter now will be Cole Wessel. Cole, let's see, 0 for 2 in the ball game. Struck out looking last time. One was a line drive out to Richie Ferreira. The other just a foul pop out in front of the central bench. Peyton Witter to the plate. There's a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Peyton beginning to find himself. As I mentioned, it's been a while since he pitched. Have to go back to the week that Wildcats struggled a bit against certain teams. 1 strike pitch, the pitch. That's up high. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 outs now, bases full of Bobcats as they bat in the bottom of the 5th inning in a 5-2 ball game at the District 3 championship ball game. 1-1 pitch. Hit in the air again. Foul territory. Parker free. He makes the catch. Out number 3. Go sit down. They load the bases. A couple of pop-up. Foul balls. Nice play, Camden Welch. Nice play, Parker Free. And the Wildcats retire the side with no damage done. We go to the top of the 6th inning. The Wildcats lead it by a score of 5-2. And we'll be back to Bud Bales Field in a moment.
Bridge center fielder Warren East.
Welcome back once again to Bud Bales Field. Warren East leads things off for the Wildcats. Warren, let's see, what has he done today? He has gotten on base twice. He's hit by a pitch and walked normally. Hits one foul, third base side. Hill over in foul territory, makes the catch for out number 1. Wildcat offense has kind of slowed down a bit. And back to the top of the order we go to Caden Black. Caden's had a quiet game. He does have a single and an RBI in the game, but he also has 2 flyouts as well. Getting darker here, boys. Not good. As Caden steps in, batting from the left side. 4-year starter for the Wildcats. And he takes a strike at the knees, and the count is 0-1. Oak Ridge faithful not too happy. Yes, you asked me earlier if he was related to Ron Black. That's his uncle. His dad's Chris Black, and Adam Black's his uncle. Former Wildcatters. Adam played baseball. Chris and Ron played football for Oak Ridge. And, of course, Ron Black Sr. and Sonia, or Gwen, is their mother, as that pitch is cut on a miss. And Caden behind in the count. 2 strikes on him. Black will be followed by Cam Welch. Cut on a missed. And Black is a strikeout victim. You don't see that happen very often. And the batter now will be Cam Welch. As I mentioned, Cam walked, was out 1-3 his last time. Getting darker and darker, guys.
I just felt one. I felt a drop.
Well, let's get the bags once again. Pitch to Cam is down low, a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Top of the 6th inning. Of course, in high school, you play 7. Wildcats trying to hold on. Pitch is down low, ball again. I've done a lot of baseball this week, just to be honest with you. This is the 4th game, I guess, that we've called since tournament began. Camden ahead in the count. 2 balls and no strikes. He hits the ball foul. Out of play. I didn't see Coach Gaddis hustling after that loose ball.
No, I didn't see him either. I'd like to see him wear an Oak Ridge shirt, or at least a Cardinal colored shirt. He'd get on to me for that.
As opposed to that Yankee shirt he's wearing. Pitch to Kim is up high, a ball. 3 balls now against the big sophomore. Yeah, here comes some more. Did you say there's a big sell coming in, or did you make that up?
And I'm looking at this.
There is a big sell coming in. You are absolutely right. We need to get out of here quickly. 3-1 pitch, hit on the ground, up the middle, and shortstop fields it behind the bag and makes the play. Really nice play. I thought when the ball was hit fairly softly, and I thought it might get through, but a really good play by the shortstop, and the Wildcats are retired in order. So we go to the bottom of the 6th inning here at Bud Bales Field. The Wildcats on top by a score of 5-2. We'd like to thank Lynn Hart once again. He provided our rights fee to allow us to broadcast on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. TSSAA charges, as we all know, $250 per ball game, and hopefully we won't need another $250 today for a second ball game. If the Wildcats can hold on, we won't have a required second game. The Wildcats in the lead 5-2, but the Bobcats have mounted threats in a couple of innings. The Wildcats have been able to get out of it, but you can only trust your luck so much, and hopefully Peyton can get the lower part of the order.
Remember what I was going to ask you. You know, Peyton, I don't know much about, like you said, I haven't been to a bunch of games this year, but I know Mikey obviously has an incredibly strong, with quite the same velocity, and also he's a left-hander. Do you think, you had mentioned that he hadn't, Coach Free hadn't gone to him to pitch in quite a while. Do you think they're just trying to, is it a fresh arm deal, or do you think potentially
season? But our starting pitching has been so good this year that the relief guys haven't gotten a chance to play as much as, as usual. But Peyton, I honestly don't remember the last time he pitched. It had to be one of those, either the East Hamilton ball game or another. But it is a change of pace for sure. As we start the 6th inning, bottom of the 6th inning for the Bobcats, it'll be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters in their lineup. Scheduled. Jack Good, the catcher, will lead things off. Good will bat from the left side. It's kind of interesting. I talked about this. I don't know if you heard me talking about it. Peyton bats from the right side, but he throws from the left side, like our trainer, Brian Liffler, did when he was a Wildcat.
Hey, let's just hope that he's got a mean streak in him like Brian did. I know I've heard stories from Jordan Kallenbach, a great leader, in the clubhouse back in the day. I like what I've seen from Peyton so far.
Lefty versus lefty. Witter begins his first full inning of work, and he throws one in the dirt, and the count is 1-0. Rain is falling again. No thunder or lightning.
Talk about Coach Gaddis. And
ball is hit to Warren East in center field. That is a solid single and a good start for the Bobcats with a single by Wood. His second time he's reached base safely. And the batter now will be Samuel Myers, the pitcher. He struck out his last time, grounded out to Mikey Teasley back in the 2nd inning, so he is officially 0 for 2.
Talking about Coach Gaddis kind of joshing him a little bit here, but if people don't know Coach Gaddis real well personally, he's football all the way, but he is a huge baseball fan, isn't he?
A diehard fan, and he'll go. He's already been up to see the Yankees already play this year, and he'll go several more times, especially when school is out. Throw over to first, and back to the bag will go the runner. Nobody out. We're in the bottom of the sixth in a 5-2 ball game. Peyton Witter in relief of Mikey Teasley. He's given up a couple of hard balls, but he had a nice end to the previous inning with a couple foul outs. And the pitch, breaking pitch in there for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. Samuel Myers is the batter. He'll be followed by Miles Johnson. Myers, any relation?
We'll see how he does at this at bat before I answer that question.
Good answer. 1 ball, 1 strike. Timeout is asked for by Myers. He steps out of the box. District 3 championship. Oak Ridge holds on and wins, of course. That pitch is down low, a ball, and the count is 2-1. Nobody's ever accused me of not being a homer.
No, and you know, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. That you are listening to an Oak Ridge broadcast. Hey, we're paying to get this thing on the air. You can say whatever you want, David.
And I'm an Oak Ridge graduate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pitch is hit hard, foul up the third base side and out of play. And I also played baseball for Oak Ridge High School, so I think I have the right, maybe. Did I ever tell you that I scored the winning run against Clinton? How many times have you done that?
I don't think you've ever told me that, actually. I can't believe that story's never come out. I know that you've beaten the great Spencer Goldmeyer in a foot race when he was in his athletic prime, and you were not. I had not heard the Clinton story, though.
There's a swinging strikeout, and that's a good out for Peyton, his first strikeout of the ball game. Well, I'd like to say it was a walk-off home run or a walk-off. Mitch Coffey walked, and I came in to run for him. I stole second, moved over to third, and came in on some play, and it was the winning run against the Dragons. And that's where my Oak Ridge and Clinton kind of reputation began.
And the world was never the same ever since, Dave.
Well, you just ask them. They'll tell you that.
I can see a young Freddie just giving it to you behind the plate after that, as you probably deserved.
Freddie was around at that time as well. So it'll be the number 8 hitter, Miles Johnson. There's still a runner at first in a 5-2 ball game. District title ball game. Darkening skies, rain falling. Peyton Witter there's a big lead at first. He's going to come to the plate. There's a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Everything covered again? Okay. Witter, Jr., throws over to first, and ball bounces off the mitt of Camden Welsh, but not far enough. He would look like he was leaning toward second. 1 strike the count on Miles Johnson. As I mentioned, he was struck out the last time looking, was hit by a pitch back in the second inning by Mikey Teasley. 5-2 Wildcats. We're in the 6th. Pitch, slow one, in there for a called strike. Bobcat faithful, not happy. Could have been a little high, but it was right down the turnpike.
Yeah, I mean, it looked pretty good. Like I said, one certainly for the Bobcats tonight.
That is Alex Myers helping us out here, along with Caleb Riker. Coach Todd Wright, assistant coach of the Lady Wildcats, watching the ball game today on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. 2 strikes the count. Number 8 hitter in their lineup, the pitch. Count on a miss. Held on a foul tip by Parker Free, and that is back-to-back strikeouts for Peyton Witter. And the batter now will be the third baseman, David Grimes, as the rain begins to come a little harder. Number 9 hitter in their order. So whoever pitches in the 7th inning is going to have to face the top of the order. The Wildcats could use a little insurance. Right-handed hitter, runner at first, the pitch. That is high at the letters, and the count is 1-0. Farragut has won the District 4 championship, 12-0 over Maryville. Pitch to the plate. There's a called strike. That evens the count. That was a strike. I don't know the Central faithful not in agreement with that, but that was most definitely a strike. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Of course, we're biased. Witter checks the runner, comes to the plate. That's up high, and the count is 2-1. You want to get this guy because Nick Reardon is on deck. He's hit the ball hard. With the exception of his first plate appearance, he's hit the ball hard twice. Solid player for the Bobcats. 2-1 pitch about to be made by Peyton Witter. Comes to the plate. There's another called strike, or it should have been. He did call it a strike. He is slow getting that right hand up for the strike, and it's a 2-ball, 2-strike count. We're on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. We appreciate all of you watching. Appreciate Lynn Hart for sponsoring the broadcast. Peyton Witter checks the runner. 2-2 pitch. Hit foul. Man, he golfed that one. That was ball 3 at his ankles. And the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I'm stressed.
Yeah, it's a stressful time. Getting late in the ball game. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Once again, Peyton Witter in relief of Mikey Teasley. Runner at first. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch. Ball 3. He wants to get him on this pitch right here. Like I said, you don't want Nick Reardon batting. He represents the tying run in a 5-2 ball game. Witter's gotten out of a inning right here on this strike. Here it comes. He does! Swings and he misses. And Peyton Witter strikes out the side. The Bobcats go down. Leadoff hit. And then 3 consecutive strikeouts by the junior. And we go to the 7th inning. The Wildcats on top, 5-2. We'll be back to the District 3 championship game in a moment. Welcome back to Bud Bales Field here at Tommy Shumpert Park, District 3 championship ball game. Oak Ridge on top 5-2. Mikey Teasley, the batter, as we start playing the top of the 7th. Teasley, let's see, is 1 for 3 in the ball game. Had a strikeout and popped out to the pitcher and had a single. Right-handed hitter. Started the ball game. He's the pitcher of record for the Wildcats. Wildcats could use some insurance as Mikey takes one and throws it back to the pitcher. What a nice fellow Mikey is. He throws pitch back to his fellow mound mate. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out. Wildcats, as I said, could use a little insurance. As the pitch bounces away, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Mikey will be followed by pitcher Peyton Witter, then the catcher Parker Free. As the rain continues to fall. Keep that camera dry. Keep that laptop dry. 2 balls. Kind of a conversation now between the umpire and Jack Good, the catcher. Let's see if he's okay. Looks like they're going to change him out. Or let's see, yeah. Or he's going to have to get a new mitt, or not exactly sure what the issue is. A little problem with his equipment. Gives me the opportunity to run down that little public announcement that they wanted me to do. As I want to remind everybody, I've been asked to do this, so I'll do it while I have a chance. The annual Lawrence Hahn Golf Classic is coming up on June the 8th at the beautiful Oak Ridge Country Club. This event raises money to benefit the Boys and Girls Club of Oak Ridge. Team spots are filling up quickly. There is still time to register. If you or your business would like to help sponsor this fun event, there's still time to do so. If you're interested in playing or helping sponsor, please call 865-482-4433 or email Erin Webb. And her email is what? eweb@bgccy.org. Is that correct?
It's I believe it's
Defensively, Austin Duncan enters catcher.
Austin Duckett has entered the game as catcher for the Central Bobcats. As the rain's falling, a lot of people are heading towards the cars. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the sophomore. Pitch to him. Down low a ball. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
apologies, David. That email ends in v.org. It's eweb, EWEBB at bgccv as in Victor.org.
She needs an easier email address. Pitch to Mikey. That's high, ball 4. Good start for the Wildcats. As I said, Oak Ridge could use some more insurance. And he'll be good speed at first. The batter is Peyton Witter. Let's see. Peyton was hit by a pitch his first time, grounded out to short his second, and hit into that double play, ending the inning, his last play. But Mikey's going anyway. Here comes the throw by the new catcher, and that's not a bad move at all by Coach Free. You bring in a new catcher, not the starting catcher, in, and you run on the first pitch.
Yeah, really smart coaching right there. I mean, baseball is just it's just such a headsy, witty game, and a totally chestnut checkers move there by Coach Free. I love to see it.
Speaking of witty, here comes Witter back in. Sorry. Runner at second, Mikey Teasley, scoring position, nobody out. Of course, all of us are hoping it'll quit raining. And
Well, and I tell you another reason I like that is so many times, and you got a young ball club here, as you mentioned. Not a lot of these kids have been in this situation. I think if you're Oak Ridge, you don't want to even give the slightest hint to your kids if you're the coaching staff that, hey, we're going to try to cruise. We want to just hold on to this lead. That signals to your team we're keeping the pedal to the metal, foot on the gas, and we're trying to add more here.
Peyton back in. Teasley, the base runner, at third. Checking the runner. The pitch is a called strike. Witter will be followed by Parker Free. Parker looking for his first hit. He did walk earlier. Then Richie Ferreira. Richie's been hot with 3 hits today. Witter back in. Right-handed hitter. The pitch to him. Head on a miss. Going to have to throw him out. Here's the throw by the new catcher. Mikey goes to third. Very wisely. Good play there. Witter does strike out for the first inning, but over to third will go Mikey Teasley with his second stolen base, and Parker Free will be the batter. Parker, as I mentioned, walked, popped out to the shortstop, actually lined out to the shortstop, and struck out his last time. Insurance run at third, 1 out, 7th inning, 5-2 Wildcats of the District 3 tournament. Pitch, down low a ball. There isn't a lot of foul territory. It's a good stop by the new catcher in the ball game. The ball bounces away. It's got to be, bounce away good. A lot of times it bounces right back to the catcher, so Mikey's got to be aware of any ball that gets loose and past the catcher. Parker would just like to drive it in. The infield is in on the grass. 1 out. They'll come to the plate. Ball's hit on the ground. Ball is cut on and foul tipped, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Really got a piece of that one.
Parker Free, as I mentioned, he is a freshman, son of the head coach of the Wildcats. People ask me all the time. Well, I shouldn't say that, but legitimately the best catcher on the team. Pitch hit on the ground to the shortstop. They're not going to get the run in. And a good play as Parker hits it on the ground. But good defensive setup by the Bobcats. They had the infield in. And now it's going to take Richie Ferreira, who's already had 3 hits in the ballgame, to get the run in. Richie steps in. Richie has 2 singles, a double. He scored a run. Mikey Teasley still the base runner at third. Wild pitch or a pass ball would be good right here if you're an Oak Ridge fan. Myers trying to close it out. The pitch to Richie, that's up high, a ball. Daring Mikey to come down the line. The catcher jumps out of his stance and fakes the throw down to third. Mikey retreats. 1 ball, no strikes. Richie will be followed in the Oak Ridge order by Cy Stevens. Now we're going to have a conversation on the hill as the rain falls. Although, if you look, there is some brightening in the sky, but there's a lot of black, dark clouds behind us as well. Instead of whining about it, let's just sit in it and get it over with.
And you'll say this. I guess Myers, if they lose, would probably get the loss for Central. I would assume, David. But I'll say this: he's actually had a really good showing. I think. He came in a tough position. The Wildcats already had a big lead, but really after that first inning or so, he's settled down. I thought he's had a really nice showing coming in for relief after their starter. It kind of got away from him a little bit.
Starter will be the loser because he's the one who gave up the first runs. As long as they're behind, you can tell your baseball.
I go to 1 or 2 Braves games a year, and then I watch when the playoffs starts. Why do you think I'm here, Dave?
It just hit off the end of the bat up the third base line. It is going to roll foul, just barely. Just barely. He let it roll. If he touches it in fair territory, the Wildcats have a run. The ball just rolled foul, and he touched it just as it hit over the other side of the line. Good play by Hill, and he's a smart cookie.
Yeah, no, it was really close. It almost looked like he touched it, but I think it did go foul first. If you're Central, you're not in any rush to finish this inning. You want the rain to start. Would you consider a pitching change right here to take a few more ticks off the clock?
No, I wouldn't, because we might have to play 2. So I mean, we're here regardless.
I just was noticing because they had a guy out warming up earlier in the inning, and they just brought him in.
Pereira once again back in. He has 3 hits today. He's had a good postseason. The pitch to him, hit on the ground. This time to the second baseman. Fielded cleanly and throws on the first, and Richie is retired. The Wildcats spoil a leadoff walk by Mikey Teasley, and they leave him stranded. So we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. The Wildcats need 3 outs, and they are the District 3 baseball champions. But they'll be facing the top of the Bobcat order: Nick Reardon, Kalen Chesney, Andrew Hill. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, as the Wildcats' Peyton Witter will stroll back out on the hill to try to close it out and win the district championship for the Wildcats. We'll be back on our YouTube channel at a rainy Bud Bales Field in a moment.
What's that? Sink your best bit. What? Sink the field. Yeah. You play hard, do that. He's going to eat this, dude. He's really good. He pitched yesterday.
Leading off the second, center fielder Nick Reardon.
So here we go to the 7th inning. The Wildcats need 3 outs, and they will be the District 3 champions. And Peyton Witter trying to close things out for the Wildcats, but he'll be facing 3 really, really good hitters in the Central Bobcats. Nick Reardon. Nick is 1 for 3 in the ball game, singled and scored back in the 3rd inning. One of their 2 runs. Left-handed hitter. The pitch is down low, a ball from the left-handed throwing Peyton Witter. As I mentioned, Peyton has not thrown in a while, but he's thrown well. He's last 3 batters he faced in the 6th, he struck out. He's a little wild here. He's behind in the count now, 2 balls and no strikes. You don't want to give up any base runners, any free base runners, because like I said, you got Hill sitting there and he can hit. Like I've said, he's hit many a home run that I've seen in my watching Central baseball. 2 balls and no strikes. Took something off of that one, throws a strike. and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Caleb, I believe it's raining as hard as it has the whole day.
Yeah, I'd say so. It's really enjoyable.
Yeah, it's cool. At least it's keeping us cool. 2 balls and 1 strike. Peyton to the plate. Oh, hits him. And there's that base runner, that free base runner that you don't want. And the batter now will be Chesney. We don't want any drama here. I don't know who is available to pitch. You might think that Carson Fagan or Cy Stevens could be available to pitch.
David, remind folks when the last time Oak Ridge won the district tournament is. It's been a little while, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. You've got the list right in front of you.
Well, I told you I thought it was since 2002, but you said that's not right.
No, it is. As that pitch is hit on the ground, Cam has one play, and that's first, and that's out number 1. He thought for a second to go to second base to get the force, but he had no play there. It just took the safe out at first. Good decision there by Camden. And here comes Andrew Hill. And they do intentionally walk him. That's a little unorthodox. You put the tying run at the plate in the person of their cleanup guy, who has been on base twice, and that is Drew Shaver. Wildcats on top 5-2, but the Bobcats trying to rally here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Rain falling, timeout is asked for, and Payton delivered a strike, but he stepped out of the box and timeout was asked for. Runners at first and second, 5-2 Wildcats. Hopefully this rain will stop before our victorious postgame show, if we have a victorious postgame show. Peyton Witter trying to close it out. The pitch, that's up high, and the count is 1-0. It is definitely raining as hard as it has rained all day. Sitting in metal bleachers, not the ideal situation. Witter comes to the plate. Hit foul off on the right side. This time Cam doesn't have a play, goes into the trees, and the count is 1-1. It is definitely raining as hard as it has all day. There was some lightning. There's some thunder. And I don't know what we'll do if that's the case. Looks like the Farragut scout is out of here. 1 ball, 1 strike, the pitch. That's ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Sitting in metal bleachers in a lightning storm. It's pandemonium at Bud Bays Field, and they are going to call it right here. Perhaps. No, they're staying out on the field. Nope, they are going to call it. So, guys, I really don't know what we should actually do. If as the lightning strike was seen, I think they have to wait 30 minutes. 30 minutes before we can start again. And of course, Alex will look at the radar. The Wildcats lead it by a score of 5-2. I would run down the scoring totals, but they are absolutely soaked here. I do know I can run down some of the RBIs. The Wildcats do have the lead 5-2. I'm thinking about honestly moving our location if we can. It's going to be a heavy rainstorm. So here's what we might do. Let's first off ask Coach Free if we can move down into the camera into the dugout, and then we'll broadcast from the cage. And then if that's the case, it'll look funny. It'll go black for a little bit. We'll keep the stream rolling, but we have got to get out of this weather or the equipment will be ruined, and we won't be able to finish the broadcast, and I'll lose about $3,000 worth of equipment here. Wildcats on top 5-2. Lightning has stopped the ball game. Stay with us. Keep checking back. The Wildcats in the lead. We'll be back to Central in a moment.
No,
Try to keep the rain.
Camera through there and us in here. Yeah. Put the laptop on the bench and put the camera right in front of it.
Did you ask Coach Smith? Yeah.
Hayden Black, baby. 1-0. Hayden Black, come on.
And just coming in with the following, we were we were putting a line to work at the old French dugout because we were trying to move their operation into this area. And I started coming down here, but so should have stopped. And because of the lightning, you had to wait.
Yeah, and David, if there's one thing throughout the years your prep radio crew cannot stand, even more than cold weather, it's wet weather. And I'm chief among those who cannot stand getting rained upon. And unfortunately, we kind of knew it was going to happen. We're just trying to hope we could get a quick 1-2-3 inning there at the end, and it did not work. However, you know, watching these guys, they relax. And I think that's the right play. You know, you can't stay jacked up. You just kind of have to, as a coach, this is a tough. There's another lightning strike behind us, so there goes 30 minutes. So, Dave, the players, your prep radio crew, we're getting hungry. You know, what do you do in a situation like this? It's tough.
Well, I thought about making an interview with everybody. That's Alex Franklin right there in front of us. Let's see, we got Tri Sharp, we got Brooks Earls, we got Camden Welch. And here comes John Ulrich towards the camera. Not much we can really talk about, honestly, and hopefully we've got sound right now. I'm going to turn the mic off once again. They are playing I see. They are playing tic-tac-toe against Central. They were running it on the baseball and throwing it across the field. So to continue the game. So might as well have some fun at a rain delay, right, Richard?
I need food.
Richard says he needs food. I'm going to turn the mic off once again. I'm going to turn it off. So we're in a rain delay. The Wildcats in the lead in district championship game 5-2. What about and we can. Just stay with us. The video will stay. I will keep the video running as long as we can. And we'll come back and figure out if we can do the audio at that moment.
Yeah. I was going to say this is like reminiscing.
Hey, that's all you know. No, that's all. It is indeed on left here, buddy.
Let's see. It would be a complete day. We would have won. We'd go back. We've been ahead the whole time. They're going to do everything they can to play, and they should. Coach, now that's where's the hot spot now? It should be.
Thought I put it right setting at the top.
They would be second game.
I know.
I know, but they might not move for you, but they will move. Is it unfrozen? Is it unfrozen? You're unfrozen.
He asked if we could get it down.
Well, yeah, so we'll have to broadcast. The only reason I said stay in the broadcast.
That's not what we want. Well, I've got the wrong camera on now.
Just change one to the other. Back to the game camera, it should come on.
Oh, that's why.
What's that?
It's not sensing it. Not coming up here.
What's that?
It's not coming up.
Yeah, it was in the second one. We haven't.
No, it shouldn't have anything to do with the internet because it should be coming directly from. Can you try to unplug it on the camera end and plug it back in?
I will.
Because we did do that earlier and it worked. Yeah, see, it's not. It's not.
I just saw that. If you just tuned in, you're wondering what's going on. We're in a lightning delay at the District 3 championship game. We've been able to keep the stream going live. We have moved from the TV walkout. The Wildcats, as you can see on your screen, are ahead by a score of 5-2. The Bobcats have a couple runners on right now. There's one out. The Bobcats 2 outs away from a championship. But right now, we're just waiting. Appreciate Lynn Hart, Bobcats, and Richard Bowling Center for sponsoring this broadcast, for getting your money's worth, I'm sure.
I was gonna say we're going to end up getting a football length stream out of this basketball game if we're not out of this baseball game if we're not careful. And unfortunately, if you're watching the YouTube, you'll see my ugly mug on there. But the good news is it'll go away soon. The delay, Dave, that's usually
45 seconds or so appears to be more like 3 to 4 minutes here as the signal is terrible. I mean, it's taking me about 5 minutes just to send a tweet. So it tells you what kind of signal or lack thereof we're dealing with. So hang with us. We're getting it. We're getting it.
Now we've been told that the game is going to start at 8:45 after the last cycle. So 8:45. Go ahead and move the camera. Move our 8:45 looks like the start time. Guys, what do you think? Should we move the camera now? Yes. Move tripod away. It's okay. It's only a sophomore. If we can probably move him without any kind of issue.
I know.
Yeah, well, I plan to ask him to be on the crew.
What should we do? I want to make sure that does catch up eventually, and then we can move it. Is softball still playing? No, that's not softball. I was like, that's what I was wondering. I was like, did something change?
Nothing has changed. Well, they do have these kind of things. They're gonna warm up. Yeah, only way to do it.
Yep. So it'll end up going where he's standing once we start.
1, 2, 3, 2. There you go.
Might need to raise it up just a little bit. So twist this. You're good. Just lift this up. Twist it to where the front two are up. That. And then
And what I'm gonna change that to we need to get it.
Yeah, hold on. Can you hold this?
Somehow I need to get it to the big but I don't want to trip on it coming out of here. So yeah. Oh, you can do that. I'm a midget, remember? Do you have any place to go anyway? Did you have any place to go anyway? Like you didn't have any place to go, did you?
No, I'm ready to win. I'm stressing.
I'm stressed. Just
We win so bad.
We don't really have any. I'll assume there's more like
I swear.
where's that other thing?
Richie,
Mike.
be careful, buddy.
Just extend it to the mixer. And then
Is that Ray Ray out there?
you want to put
Why?
the the toolbox down there,
Yeah, okay.
and then
Hey, Dave's got food for everybody.
the laptop on it.
One second. Hey, will you do me a favor and make sure nobody like messes with this? Thank you. Just make sure this doesn't fall. Yeah.
Unlike this.
That battery.
Is this just going in one or two? Yeah. Tell me we just. Don't tell me we just spent the world in.
We need it. Okay. The battery's evidently not.
Thank you.
Good, but.
Ricky Jones said, I think the weather has caused the delay so that Coach Gaddis can get the scoring higher for the game. I love having a giant.
Now when you go.
Yeah, let's ask. Is it okay? How good to unplug that right now?
Yes, yes.
They're gonna mess with the audio.
Yes.
Hang over there.
If it does,
Here, it's better than nothing.
you're right. You're right.
No, it's pretty loud.
Yeah.
Where's the straight going? That out? We only got one. So how are we gonna get power? Make sure. There's nothing else in that ball. Oh man, you look good out there, man. $8.50.
The ball a little bit. Roll around a little bit. Okay. All right. What? Yeah. I'm wet. Fine. Fine.
5 minutes.
Fine. Ooh. Hey, Chet. Oh my God.
I still haven't gotten the stream back up. Well, the stream's up, but the camera.
Are you good there? Oak Ridge High School. Test, test, test. Okay, good.
For a second, then it stopped again. We're not doing anything different. So we're not doing anything different. It just stops. I don't know. On YouTube, okay, it appears to be working.
It's because YouTube's behind.
Oh, this is like several minutes behind. You might want to tweet. Yeah, that's the thing. It's not. Oh, so there are only 2 outs away.
What's it look like on the YouTube's itself?
Hold on. Hey, will this be the first district championship since you guys do, or first district tournament championship?
Yeah, we were the regular season champs last year. That guy to be a camera guy.
He looks like Shumpert. Just from the second. Worst camera guy ever? Second worst, right?
Second worst.
Sam? Was Sam the worst?
Oh, Sam was definitely the worst.
I have no idea, Dave. I mean, I really don't know. Yeah, it's YouTube's now caught up. It's totally frozen. They said they can hear us though.
It looks very frozen.
I think we're in a worse spot dead zone wise over here than we were over there.
Probably.
I mean, we've got the smallest, one bar.
Can you put it up here?
Well, yeah, I was gonna say it looks like it's getting. If we could like wedge it to where it won't come loose, that's my only fear. Think that's good. No, it's actually got 4 out of 5 now instead of 1.
Cannon, bro. Go. Good shoot.
See that much stuff on top. Yeah. Of course, the scoreboard's
front of us.
Is it frozen?
Yeah. But see, this is frozen at a different point in this. It's just freezing. Hey, Dave, you know the mics are on? The mics are on. Good. No, I can hear it. No, you're good. So the audio is working. Yeah, because I can hear me very well. Listen. It's probably about 30 seconds away, but.
Yeah, it's the wrong audio setting. You need to talk to Mark.
No, Mark needs to be here.
What's that?
Said no, Mark needs to be here. See, it keeps telling me that this is not.
It's not saying.
Test, test, 1, 2, 3. Test, test, 1, 2, 3.
And now that you said it, I feel awesome. Were you like a little when I was big down there? Because I remember your face now. I'm trying to think like I would say my last summer was actually 2017. That is 15 cents. My bad, man. I apologize. I would really give it a top of my head. Yeah, exactly.
What's it doing? Is this coming back or is it leaving? What is this doing right here?
So like your face now, that's it. Like y'all are also this big to me. Like I can't just graduate like 3 or 4 years ago that I had years ago. Y'all are probably all about Al.
Change the audio. It's picking up this mic. Change the audio.
Well, but
Why don't you mute that one? I guess
My radar says it's leaving.
I'll go with the mics.
But here's the thing, now the video's frozen again.
It's the weather. That's why I'm gonna.
Brandon's afraid to yell at me. He's afraid to yell at me because I just told him that this is ridiculous.
Because he was right beside me.
He was looking at me right there, and I said, "This is ridiculous."
Talk again.
Blowing away from us. 2 outs to get in. I don't know, man. They're afraid to yell at me over here right now. I told them it's ridiculous. I don't know. I ain't leaving until we win. I ain't leaving until we win, so I'm gonna make them stay here all night. We'll wait. Yeah, on my radar, it's leaving. I don't think it. I mean, when I can tell on my radar, it's from.
So you don't like this coach really?
Two outs away.
Go, what? I was about to say.
Did you see that? Did you see that? Big time, right behind you. Hold on, let me try this one thing. So the thing is I've messed with like all these and it's still just picking up.
Know what you get it doing? Get a big steak those chicken on. I ain't leaving until the those until the weekend. Then we'll go.
I got
Yeah, that better they won already. Everybody put one on Friday night, Saturday, you know, or how they 3 games that day.
Kentucky,
Play.
Man.
I don't. We could, but I don't. Might be a. He's all right. Yeah, don't have the pitches. See, we've got the absolute bare minimum. I do it. Connectivity. I mean, I'm gonna plug this thing 100 times and plug stuff back in. I think so, maybe, because even with no Wi-Fi, it's just a direct stream, so it should be good. But I messed with all those. I saw this one. See, that one's muted, but it's the exact same signal. Mute your mic real quick. Yeah, see, that's still picking me up. Both of them are. Unmute yourself real quick. This is me. I think it's because it's not picking this camera up.
I know. What camera do you have? Which camera do you have set on? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mark might know which one it is.
Well, I know which one it is. It'll pop up when I unplug everything, and it pops back up, and then a minute or so later it freezes, and then it's.
You know what I might have to do? If we just recorded on a camera and started this stream, just cut that stream off. Do you remember how to do it?
I mean, yeah. Are we gonna hard reset the computer and everything, or just restart the stream?
We'll just go directly into the camera.
Happens to you.